Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
Feel good. Is it recording?
Yeah.
There you go.
Has
Hey.
he opened?
Hey, Evan, that's called a bit that I didn't have to rehearse, you idiot. Looking at himself in the mirror. This is going to be funny on off air. They're going to laugh. I'm going to make people giggle because I'm the pidge. Ooh, ooh. Start the clock.
I'm not saying a damn thing to open this one. You are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Off Air. I am Jake Underwood. The man behind the desk is one Mr. Style. What do you go by here? Style.
Yeah.
Hi, Style.
Same thing I go by everywhere.
That's not, I never called you that off air, so.
This is literally off air.
I mean, the real off air. The real one.
Not this bogus one.
Yeah, no, hey, let's talk about a little, let's talk about a cartoon. We prepared our bits. I mean, definitely off the top of my head. Hey, ever think about King Julian and that stupid little thing, you know, that movie that's 12 years old, you know, where David Schwimmer played a zebra, right? No, octopus. What did he play? Giraffe. Remember that? Remember David Schwimmer, Ross? Were they on a break? That's the question. Let's talk about Friends. Let's talk about that. How about Joey? Did you really think Joey was going to be the one that had a chance with Rachel? Nope, I didn't either. But apparently here we are. Chandler? Chandler ends up with Monica? Did everybody forget that Monica's first kiss was with her brother on the coats in the coat room? And Chandler was making out with Rachel in the back room? Everybody forget about that? Hey everyone, Jake Underwood here for Friends.
What is this, Friends in the afternoon or something?
Wow. Okay.
I know we're doing the Friends cast, Jake.
All right. That's
Thank you to the one person that's going to get
my
that,
God.
and it's you.
No, I'll play it for her,
Oh,
and she
good.
will laugh. She'll laugh, and she'll just go, so you do this everywhere, huh? You just talk nonsense. And I'll go,
You were so upset at the Pidge that you went into a full diatribe about the cast of Friends, huh?
well, the problem is that no one told you life was going to be this way. Yeah. Adam's Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There
We
go.
we had to have a full-on 2-hour discussion about real things before we came in here,
Yeah.
so we didn't talk about any of that here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because dude, my life, all I do is work. Literally. No, like no memes, no anything. No, I work a lot, and a lot of it's editing. And the thing is, I haven't even been posting it, so it's just stockpiling it. And so I'm gonna start posting it and doing all of that now. So if you're listening to this and want to support me so I don't get fired, Jake Underwood Show, go ahead and look that up and give us a follow. And if you hold on, I'm being legit here. If you say that you heard it on off air, you were like, hey, following you from off air, I'll give you a discount code to the store if you want to buy a coffee mug or something.
I know what you meant, but you saying, I've been editing and not even posting, just doing it for the love of the game, honestly.
No.
Just keeping that
Yeah,
shit.
no, I'm stockpiling. I have to because I gotta hit social media hard. Yeah, no, it ain't no joke if you don't pay that note. Yeah, Operation Repo back in the day. How about that? Don't know why that popped in my head.
29 or 2 for 50?
29 to the 50.
I listened to that today in the car. It was on the air.
That commercial was so good. Hey, yeah, we're gonna recap that. I'm staring Chris Jericho in the eyes right now. He's leaning back a little bit, and it looks like he's thrusting his
That's desired.
the Ayatollah of Coca-Rola right in my face there. That's
Cock
right.
and balla.
Hey.
Hey. Did you like Evan on off air last time? It's not last week, last session.
What?
How'd you feel about Evan, the Pidge, being here on off air last time?
I mean, that was fine. Why?
Okay.
Why
No,
would
it's
I-
just you seem to have a lot of issues with him talking about Mort.
Well, no, I
in
mean it's a
hell.
stupid topic, but no.
And you were telling me how much you hate Austin before we came in here.
that's not true. That's not true. No, it was funny though. I don't even know why I did that. But as soon as Austin started talking, I'm like, oh, shut up. Like literally, it's just like, hey, a style. I'm gonna host this now. We got Austin. He's like, oh hey, and I'm like, shut up, Austin. Shut up. I don't even know why. It was funny though. No, I was happy that they could do it. I forgot what was going on that I couldn't get here.
You had a
came up.
cleanup emergency.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah,
here.
I figured you might not want to.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's right. Ugh. So, yeah, because I wanted to be here.
No, we all knew that it was just because you didn't like Austin.
That's what it was, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that it's out there in the open.
Which
now.
I'm pretty sure that's why Shane left. It's because Austin was starting to talk about doing
that
voiceover stuff.
Is that what it was?
Probably.
Yeah, see, because I know a lot of people have felt that way about Austin, just nobody's really talked about it. It's kind of been one of those like unspoken secret type thing. Like every time he shows up, I notice people leave. I can't think of any recent examples in my head of when people left, but a few hours later they're leaving. And it just so happens to be after Austin got there. I don't think that's
I have
coincidence.
noticed that.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be Jimmy. Jimmy was the person who did that. But
that's just because people were mad that the Sports Avenue podcast wasn't being brought back.
Yeah, but I think he redeemed himself with the Nookie. So people really seem to like that, and I think he won him back over.
I don't think people at home know how much resentment there is for Austin. Like, it wasn't a popular addition to the station.
Well, I mean, I don't know how in depth you've gone with it, but there were the protests for a bit. I mean, you had the people, we were doing the one live event.
Right.
And there were the people outside of the venue. They were pretty upset about it. I don't know if you went into that, though.
No, PR-wise, I thought we'd just kind of move past that.
Yeah, for personal reference. PR.
Well, it was a weird time because Shane had just left the Rebel Radio show.
Right.
And, obviously he has his whole family stuff going on.
Right.
That sounds like there's family issues. He had a family, I should say. He has that going on. And then, the Pidge had a family, so he stepped back a little bit from doing music.
Right.
And I think, Austin kind of coming into the mix, too. It didn't help the situation.
Yeah.
It didn't make them want to be around,
Well, I'll tell you, considering I have experience with this when people leave and then you get brought in, you're always going to have the hostility towards you. But, I mean, this was like... I mean, we received threats.
I still am, if I'm being honest.
Really?
He doesn't even have a regular show.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the 4th with me.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think, people were that heavy into communism, but I think Austin just being a patriot drove them to it.
That's what it was. He's just so patriotic. Yeah, I mean, Toby Keith, it's like he's a Toby Keith fart. That's how patriotic he is. And it just lingers like the Cranberries. And it's just really what it is. It's an example of what we can strive to be as a patriot. And, serving in the Army when we lost his right eye. But we flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died because he wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free.
I think that's where the issue is Austin claims all those things, but he hasn't lived all those things,
Is that right?
That's probably what it is. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, we get a lot of mail about Austin.
Yeah. Yeah. The main thing, the main thing that I've heard about were the complaints about Mort. I want to know how long. I want to know if that was something that came to his head while looking in the mirror, or if there was something that he actually was sitting there and he went, it'd be funny. Let me jot this down real quick. Go ahead. Mort from Madagascar.
That's the thing,
King Julian. How can I work this into the show?
Evan's gonna get a lot of shit for that, the Pidge, and you opened the show giving him shit for that. But in reality, people don't know that was an Austin bit. He wrote that out and sent it to him.
See, I had an
the Pidge
inkling.
wouldn't do anything.
The Pidge wouldn't do anything like that. I mean, the Pidge is a respectable man. Whereas with Austin, it's. He's a wacky guy.
He is. He's a wacky guy, and I'm not putting anything out there.
It was actually Austin rolling around on a bench at the bowling alley that made me want to get into radio. I don't know that a lot of people know that. Yeah, he was rolling around on a bench in a bowling alley, and I went, mid-morning talk might be for me.
I don't know if people know this, but it was actually Austin who, I was sitting in a room talking to a few people, and Austin just out of nowhere with just this vitriol and anger kicked open a door and just for some reason started yelling, "Suspend the show." And that kind of started all this. But it just a real mean guy sometimes. You know? He's got that mean streak about him.
Well, yeah, and there was the stuff that happened. I mean, that's why the changes happened after the Radiothon. I know that he had a lot to do with that, and there was a lot of influence from him.
It was a lot of contractual stuff. You know, it was. My back was kind of against the wall. He found a lot of legal loopholes that we had left open because we didn't get in this for business, but Austin, man, he saw that opportunity and he lawyered up quick. And he really snuck in here.
Yeah. It's really sad when you see good things. I mean, I don't want to say too much because I know that there's still some stuff ongoing with all of that. But yeah, it's really sad when the corporate side starts to take over.
Yeah, no, we used to make the joke. I don't know if you remember this bit, but that Evan was our head of HR.
Yeah.
In WSR, and now we have an HR department because of Austin. And it's kind of ironic because all of the complaints that come from listeners are about Austin.
Well, yeah, and I mean there was the footage that was out there for a little bit. I mean, to be fair, I
be careful because some of that's still in court.
Yeah. I mean the AI is good. That's what I'll say there. AI it's very relevant, especially now. But I mean, this was a few years ago, even. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, ultimately, innocent until proven guilty. At least in this beautiful country, which he is a patriot.
And that's the thing too. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
The only two people that would have been there to witness it and have account would have been you and Austin. But as far as I know, there's no alibi for where Austin was on September 11th, 2001.
Well, the weird thing was, if you remember, I was on the phone with you, so I wasn't even there. Because it happened it happened there.
Yeah.
I was in the hallway.
Right.
And I was on the phone with you. We were discussing things, getting programming ready. And then that's when everything went down. And then if you remember, you told me about it. I'm going, what are you talking about? And you're like, you were there. And it actually happened when I was talking to you on the phone.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He brings it up a lot, though. Have you noticed that? Sometimes we'll be singing karaoke or playing Xbox or something, and Austin just gets that faraway look in his eye,
Yeah, I always assumed it was gas, and then, it started to happen more. See, the thing is, this is what everybody has to realize. The Mort stuff that was talked about in the last episode, that was actually an analogy for something else. And that's where I take issue with it. If you're going to take shots at people, why don't you just call them out by name?
Yeah, so let's break the fourth wall here a little bit. Let's be honest. Jake wasn't on the last show.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I did it with the Pidge and Austin, voiceover Austin, and it was a contractual thing. Austin found another loophole.
Right.
He told Jake he couldn't host his own show, and he shoehorned himself in.
Yeah. See, the problem is
and I'm as the owner of the station, I'm probably gonna get shit for bringing this up now.
Yeah. No. I mean, at the very least, it explains things. All right. So basically, I'm trying to think because this won't be the first time I've done a tell-all on WSRR. Basically, what it comes down to is it's the same thing that's happened with good local radio, where somebody comes in, they think they know it all, they really don't know anything about the business, and they start trying to run it like a business, and they forget about the entertainment side of it, and then ego comes into play. Yeah, we can't get into a lot of detail with it, but that's one of the issues that's being it's being worked out, quite frankly.
And I don't know if enough people know this because Austin, up until recently, hasn't had much of an on-air presence. It's been more behind the scenes that he's been doing all this.
Right.
But I don't know if people know he's been in other markets doing this. So not to get too specific, because again, I don't want to get us in legal trouble here. But there was a market in Dallas. And there was a market in the Northeast, and there was a market, around the Florida area. And what Austin would do would just go into these markets and buy them up. So basically, it's one conglomerate. So there's no more radio territories. It's just one mega empire of radio.
Right.
And there's no competition in that. And that's I think iHeart has a similar story of how it started. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, the problem, it's kind of. He's trying to be the Vince McMahon of radio. It's really the problem.
That's what it is, isn't it?
And that's why we have the HR problems that we do as well, allegedly. See, the problem was that, we were like, WCW. You know, we were good to go. Yeah, we had our talent here, but we were also working on bringing some other people up. There were some people that were mad about opportunities, Austin. And that's when he decided to basically pull a McMahon, start buying as much as he could so then he could say, well, I'm good because I'm on this many stations. Well, yeah, when you own them, it's not hard to be on that many stations.
When, I don't know how true this is. I kind of heard it through the grapevine, but when we had Kenny Kidd on Off Air,
yeah,
I think that kind of rubbed him the wrong way because he was jealous of the synergy the three of us had talking, and he didn't have that with you or I or anyone else, especially in a three-way scenario.
Right.
And so I think that kind of, rubbed him the wrong. At least that's what I hear. I don't know. I don't talk to Austin very often. It's more of a contractual thing. We're business associates.
Like, and the craziest thing to me was because he didn't do it with anybody
I don't even know
else.
His last name.
Well, no. The crazy thing is he didn't do it with anybody else. But in your contract, like he made sure that there were a certain amount of like Instagram photos or Snapchat stories where he had to be featured.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And like the overall theme with it is fishing. Like it's got to be fishing because here's the issue. He can't relate to the common man. He thinks the common man, all they do is fish. Like he listened to one Brad Paisley song and he thinks all men do are fish. So he's like, I have to show that I'm the common man. We have to go fish.
I think you're onto something because I have, and I can put this in the Discord. I have documentation. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
It might get me fired from here.
Yeah.
Since Austin's apparently, all of our boss now. But I have a message from years ago where Austin's just talking about Brad Paisley's soft girlish hands, just seemingly out of nowhere. And, maybe you might be onto something.
Yeah. I think that he believes that like the key, like the number one, like the manliest man he can think of is Brad Paisley. And so he thinks, Brad Paisley, that's the guy. That's his guy. That, there's some people that think that it's like, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold. No, his is Brad Paisley. And I think you heard that, well, I love her, but I love to fish. And it just, that's it. It's stuck in there. And that's why you'll see photos. And when you look, you see Jordan has a smile. I'm sorry, Style has a smile. But it's one of those, see, this is real. That's why I said your name. I apologize.
Austin's really going to get after you for that. You know that, right?
No, I know.
He's big on the anonymity thing.
Yeah, no, I know. Kayfabe, he's a wrestling guy too. That's why people say he's Vince. Like, and look, we don't want to air out the dirty laundry. That's the main thing. Like, we've done a really good job keeping this pretty quiet. And because it's not even respect for the ownership, it's respect for you, the listener. We don't want to bring the behind the scenes stuff to the forefront and to the microphone because we just feel that it's unprofessional. But
last show kind of broke that barrier.
Yeah, I mean when we spent a majority of a show wedging in a bit that just really it made no sense.
And making Evan be the guy that says it too, so he didn't take the flack for it.
Yeah, see that's the part that upset me about it too, because Pidge is very respectable. He delivers things on time. He does what he's supposed to do. And for him to be put in a situation where basically my understanding is and correct me if I'm wrong here, but he was basically told you're going to do this or there's going to be a new Pidge was basically what he was told. And to put someone in that position, it's just wrong. Like, it
No, I think you're right. And to my knowledge, I don't think Evan the Pidge has ever even seen Madagascar. So like he was just hitting bullet points that Austin gave him. And the whole, I'm going to use the wrestling analogy again here. I don't mean to dwell on it.
Yeah.
But it very much does seem like a fake Diesel, fake Razor thing where, if he didn't do this stupid Madagascar bit that Austin wrote, then it probably would have been, some random Joe Schmo from down the street coming on the Pigeonhole next time.
Right. And that's what, that's why we're saying what we're saying here, because we want to make sure people are aware of there's actually no way that Pidge Evan would come up with such a stupid idea on his own. Because it was just a terrible bit. Every part of it was awful. I mean, to bring up a movie that is that old, that if you walked up to somebody and said, Madagascar, they'd say, the country. What about it? They wouldn't think the movie. They wouldn't think that wonderful hit with Moto Moto. You know, of all the things to bring up from that movie, Moto Moto would have been funny because he likes him big, he likes him chunky. See, like that's a bit. And the unfortunate part is they didn't think that wasn't thought of, especially because it was a relevant meme at one point in the not so distant past. So, you know, it's just one of these where we have to try to wedge in things to appease people, and we know it affected you, the listener, and that's why we wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, this doesn't feel good to talk about. This
Yeah.
isn't, you know, your normal, you know, fun, jovial off-air
Right.
episode. And, you know, I'd love to be sitting here playing Bop It right now. We've done almost 100 episodes at this point.
Yeah.
And at this point, who knows if we'll even make it to the next one with everything going on behind the scenes and the contractual obligations we have to. Oh, by the way, sorry, I don't mean to cut this short. I have a note here that says we have to mention milk. We have to mention how strong in nutrients and rich milk is. That's some deal.
Hold
Austin
on.
out that
So
I'm
he
supposed to-
won't. So he won't let me talk about raw milk, but But he wants us to talk about like milk.
Yeah.
Is he that?
I don't know if it's a deal he has worked out with Big Milk. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm certainly not getting any kickback from it.
Well, the thing
I don't
is,
think the station is.
well, no. The problem is this. The problem is that he's trying to. He's one of those people who thinks like 90s stuff is like funny, so he wants to take it all back to 90s stuff. So if you remember the Got Milk stuff, that's what he's trying to bring back.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's how it comes off to me.
I don't see how that fits into radio.
No, I don't either.
Or why we have to do a read for it.
Well, especially because, you know, it's not like we're streaming this. Like we're drinking water right now. We're
Yeah.
not drinking milk, but he wants us to lie to you, the listener, and we're not going to do that. That doesn't sit right with me.
Do you think he's going to fire us for this?
I don't think he'll be happy, but so be it. Look, it's out there. It's in the open. It is what it is. And I mean, if he's that upset about it, he knows how to contact us, and he doesn't have to do fake phishing stuff. Like just talk to us.
I don't know if he's ever been fishing.
I mean, I've seen
photos, right? But I've seen photos of a lot of things.
right.
I mean, I've seen photos of a lot of things.
Right.
Jake.
I'm almost, because like I'll be honest, and I've talked about it before, where I'll go fishing, I cast out, but I just kind of hang out. I just like being outside.
Sure, yeah.
I almost wonder if he's the same way, and he just tries to pass it off because, like I said, it's the Brad Paisley song. He thinks that's what a manly man is, which he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, Brad Paisley is a manly man, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes, you know, going back to Shane and just different things. And I know that people have asked questions time and time again.
It's just bleeding into on-air stuff.
Yeah,
now, you know?
and that's the issue. Like when Shane left, we completely understood, but there was other stuff going on there. I know that it was family and everything, but
I don't mean to interrupt. Just for, clarity's sake, I want to try and clear something up. And I feel like this is the only way we're going to be able to do it.
yeah.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah,
Did you ever get your fishing license?
I did not.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, honestly, what it is, it's that he probably knows that because we've been frustrated about this. We tried talking to him about it, and we told him eventually it was going to bleed over to on air, and I think he knows that that's what's happening right now.
He hasn't taken a call from me in probably 4 weeks. Even when he came on to record,
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him. He just showed up
So I'll be
with
honest.
contract in hand.
I don't think I've ever spoken to him on the phone. I think the only time I've spoken to him on the phone is when you and I are together and it's a
Yeah.
group call.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's never answered a call from me. So,
Which is weird because he has 2 phones.
yeah.
And I don't know if one's a business phone and a personal. I would assume, but he always has both phones. And he's
And-
always on them both at the same
Yeah.
time, which
Yeah, I
is really
don't-
weird to me.
I don't know. But yeah, not to have this bleed over into the episode, but yeah, that's been going on for a little bit now.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I hope it gets better.
yeah. I think it will. I mean, eventually it's going to. Yeah, I mean, we'll just see. Yeah, we'll see. We just got to take it one day at a time. That's all we can do. So, yeah, this has been an episode of Off Air. I have been Jake Underwood, the man behind The other microphone is one Mr. Style. Follow along.
And don't forget to drink milk because it is nutritious and it helps your bones grow.
Got milk.
Thank you.
There you go, bud. That's what you wanted.
Preceding program was a WSRR radio production.